All right, folks, welcome to Nino's Corner.tv, baby. How's everybody doing out there? All right, so we are in the fog of war right now. But we do have the high ground. So I'm going to explain everything to you the way I'm getting it in. All right, so basically, Trump is playing referee with all these other countries: Israel, Iran, the entire Middle East, Syria, Yemen, the whole thing, Russia, Ukraine, and he's trying to stop what? The useless murders, the useless killing. That's what we're trying to stop, all the while still trying to stop the globalist moves on the chessboard. So remember, they use proxies. They use proxies to instigate and fire up these wars. So, folks, hit the notifications button. I'm going to get into this today. I was on the phone with Juanito and a few other people. I might be going to Vegas pretty soon. Yeah. There's something going on August 9th, 10th, and 11th. I might be out there. So if you're out there, I'd love to meet you all. It'd be great. Stay tuned because I am going to be taking the old super chats that we missed on the last show. We'll bring them up on this show and talk about it right now. Venmo D-Rod 1977 D-Rod 1977, baby. Notification buttons, hit that. I already said that. Share, like, all the good stuff on YouTube that I have to tell you to do. Because we've come to a point in society where you're too lazy to move your thumb. Do you know there's people that when I go on Instagram, they're like, oh, goodness, we haven't seen you in years. I'm like, I'm on YouTube. And it's like two different worlds, two different solar systems, two different universes. That's how sedentary and lazy society has been. Some people only watch YouTube. Some people only stay on Instagram. Some people only like Facebook. And by the way, my Facebook is really taking off right now. It's almost like they've taken the governor off, and I'm just flying right now. So if you're on Facebook, thank you very much for your support. But guess what, folks? I read ads on YouTube. So I'm going to cut the feed on Facebook and X today and just go to my YouTube and join the conversation. Folks, this is all about having fun, networking, being together through this fog of war, as I like to call it. It is a fog of war. So When the Lights Go Out on Amazon, When the Lights Go Out on Amazon is my boxing memorial. All right, memoir. It's my boxing memoir. And yeah, I did really write that book, no ghostwriter. I'm thinking about writing a second book, but it's going to be, I think my timing for that will be in the next couple of years. Also, my mom's book, The Mexican Mix, on Amazon. I got to head up there today and see them both today and take care of them. Folks, get the healthy fat. The healthy fat. This is a good one. The number one worst fruit for your waistline. Are you turning healthy fruits into highly unhealthy fruits without even realizing it? I'll tell you what, when I go get smoothies now and everything, I make sure that there's no additives. I make sure everything's done with real ingredients, real fruits, because the one thing that can be making you fat as hell is a smoothie. Anyway, fruits can be one of the healthiest things you can put into your body, but the majority of Americans are guilty of making it the single mistake that can counter-react all of the healthy benefits of fruit. Some fruits can help with occasional constipation, like some of my thumbnails. That's what it looks like. Reducing bloating and even help burn calories. Others can wreak havoc on your digestive system and energy levels. I came across this viral presentation from world-renowned heart surgeon Dr. Stephen Gundry, showcases the 3 fruits to stop eating like right now. It was shocking. I had no idea that after finding it out, I've stopped eating these 2. Yep, I did. I'm going to put a link for you to watch it because I want you all to gain this information because I truly think it's important. No, I can't tell you what they are. Otherwise, there'd be no point in me reading this commercial. Go watch it right now at thehealthyfat.com/Nino. That's thehealthyfat.com/Nino. I also linked in the description box below the video to make sure you click on it. Go to thehealthyfat.com/Nino. I got to tell you, folks, there's all these hacks that are coming out to help you live a longer and better life, and you got to do it. I really believe that we can start living to 120 years old, 130, maybe even longer than that after the year 2032. By the way, I had an amazing podcast with Mickey Clan. Now, the last time I did a podcast with Mickey Clan, we were like we knocked it out of the park with hundreds of thousands of views on Rumble. And this time, what she this woman is so awake, it's unbelievable. And I don't like to say woke, I say awake. Anyway, she did the Chat GPT for the timeline history of humanity, the fall and rise of humanity. And we talk about that on my show, and that's going to be up tomorrow. And I got to tell you, it is phenomenal. Chat GPT mapped out the rise and fall of humanity, went back 200,000 years to, I think, 50 years just into the future, and the stages of humanity that we're going through. And it's precise on where we're at right now with the Great Awakening and the exposing and what's coming next. Holy crap, you got to watch this podcast. It's insane. And it's all Chat GPT. It's all Chat GPT. And the types of human beings that are on this planet, oh my Lord, it's crazy. It's a phenomenal podcast. I have Melissa Redpill and Mickey Clan coming up tomorrow. And what's tomorrow? Thursday. Tomorrow and Saturday. So I'll put Mickey Clan up tomorrow. Melissa Redpill will be up probably Saturday. So, folks, X is Nino Boxer. Telegram, Nino's Corner. PatriotWear.com. Go to PatriotWear.com and tell me what you want to see in the store. I do a lot of the designing for my own logos, and I have a team that does it as well. So we all work together for you. Also, Nino's Corner.tv, Ringside with Nino, folks. This month, I do 2 a month, 2 every month. So Ringside with Nino, and 2 Generals tents this month. It's going to be phenomenal. I have Wano Saban this month taking your questions, and Colonel Towner Watkins talking about Operation Gladio. And you guys ask away. You join the conversation. We network as well. That's the Generals tent, but that right there with Alex is showing his Ringside with Nino. That's twice monthly. We meet up, the Black Sheep family. It's only $11, $11.99. And the next one is the last Thursday of this month, which is, I think, is the 31st. Juan will be the 30th, and Colonel Towner Watkins is the 24th. Also, did my next in-person podcast with Lieutenant Douglas Deaton. Now, he went viral all over the internet talking about the Muslim takeover in Plano and how that's affecting the Dallas area, affecting Plano. He comes on my show to discuss this, and we did almost a 2-hour podcast in person, folks. Oh, yeah! It was great. It was awesome. Very interesting guy. He's a former lieutenant in the police force. He was the one investigating everything Plano. That's going to be on Nino's Corner.tv. No way in hell I could put that on Fluffy, because they're a protected class. Don't you understand that? You can't say anything bad about them. It's a protected class. So that goes on Nino's Corner.tv. Also, like I said, Jerome Corsi's coming on. Again, SG Anon's coming on today. The Wano Saban is coming back. General Michael Flynn is coming on. General Flynn's coming back on. And without further ado, folks, you might want to turn it down and turn it up, baby. Yeah. Here we go, folks. Coming at you live from the apocalypse, folks. Yeah. You just see when I do this shit in the hotel rooms. The maids are always like, "Ay, pues you're too loud. You're too loud, baby." They all know me by my first name, because when I go stay at hotels or motels, the Motel 6, Sancho likes the Motel 6. It's very dirty. He likes it very dirty. He likes the dirty toallas. He likes to give them dirty toallas. Oh, boy. All right, standoff. Standoff, here we are. Trump dares Putin. Now, you got to wonder, and I'm just like you all. I think the same thing. Is it scripted? Is it not scripted? What's going on here? We all know from my guests that have come on, particularly Juan, has said we got to switch SCS to Cheyenne and NORAD control. The only way that happens is through a nuclear scare. We haven't been there yet, have we? We haven't gotten there yet. But every podcaster out there is jumping ship on Trump. Man, I'm seeing some of the things that podcasters are saying about Trump. I'm like, wow, you haven't learned about the long game yet, have you? It's going to come back and bite them all in the ass. And I think the Democrat Party is going to cease to exist in the next 2 years. I'm saying that. Democrat Party, with everything that's coming, because a lot's going to be coming this summer into 2026 before the midterms, I'm going to say this again, Democrat Party will cease to exist. I believe a new party's got both parties, by the way. Republicans don't get a pass. I'm going to say Republicans a little bit after the Democrats, and they're also going to cease to exist, and we're going to come up with a new party. Could Elon Musk be spearheading this new party? So much is happening. Right now, we're in the fog of war. A little confusing right now. Everyone's demanding the Epstein list. Hey, I'm pissed off about it too, but I see strategy, baby. Oh, yeah. All right. So is it me, or does Zelensky seem like the nerd in school that would purposely instigate fights? There was a nerd in school that used to do that with me. He used to go tell one guy, yeah, he's talking this, and that about you. Then you come back and tell me that this guy, and the next thing you know, I'm fighting this guy after school, and I don't even know why. Later on, we all found out why. This kid should have been a boxing promoter. He should have been a boxing promoter, but we ended up throwing him in the dumpster. We also stuffed him in the locker. Well, that came first. So maybe when we stuffed him in the locker, that's when he had a vendetta against all of us, and he went after all of us. I really did stuff a kid in the locker. I don't feel good about that at all. I talk about how I was bullied in school. Well, it was a pecking order. I did some bullying too. So I don't get a pass. I know. All right. So is it me, or does Zelensky look like the nerd in school that would purposely instigate fights? He's smiling in the background like, ooh, I got Trump now. Putin can't do anything. I gave him my minerals. I gave him my virginity. So here we are. We are now in two standoffs. A standoff with Russia over Trump's support with Ukraine, and the Democrats demanding the release of the Epstein list. So are any of you thinking right now, wait a minute here. Wait a minute. Didn't Trump run on ending all wars as well as the release of the Epstein list? I mean, that's kind of what he ran on. That's what everyone was demanding with pitchforks. And it's not happening. Now he's saying, oh, that's a Democrat hoax. We know better. I think we all know better. This has been going on for, I'm the one that had the breakout video in 2020 talking about all this shit. So I know better. I definitely know better. But I also see strategy. And the last thing the Democrats want, or the FBI wanted, is for Trump to have that list, the Southern District of New York. So where is it? Did they destroy it? That's a main thing Kash Patel was going in there to look for. But we have it all, folks. We have it all. So I'm here to say I see a brilliant strategy. And in all of this, I'm not going to jump ship. I'm not going to be that guy that jumps ship. I'm not going to be the one that just has a reactionary video every time. I'm not doing it. I'm going to stick this through. I see leverage. And I know a lot of my audience, you've been in this for the long game. You all understand what's going on right now. You understand the war we're playing, chess moves. It's a complicated game, multi-levels. But do you remember when Trump had Melania stand in front of him, checkmate? Then just recently he showed up with her wearing military fatigues. Military is the only way. You got to understand all this. Now, I'm very lucky. I got a lot of people on speed dial where I can call Juan or whoever, the ghost, and just war game with them probably 2-3 times a day. I'm talking to these people. But they're grooming me. Oh, my gosh, they're grooming me. I'm just telling you, folks, I'm able to war game with these guys. I got them on speed dial. And I talk to them 3 or 4 times a day, everybody, on different camps. That way I can better formulate my morning shows and give you guys what I believe is happening. But I must, what I feel I do is I must put it past all these guys to get a better, well-rounded judgment or opinion on this stuff. So I see Trump using the Epstein list for mass leverage to shape and shift countries while having ultimate control over Congress, FBI, CIA, and other deep state actors when Russiagate and 2020 blowed wide the fuck open, because they're about to. I'm waiting on the edge of my seat, biting my fingernails for this to blow open. James Comey and Brennan are under investigation right now. You're going to hear more names. And it is going military. I'm thinking the only way the deep state took this deal, or any deal actually, is because they need more time until the quote-unquote event. That's the only option they have right now. They need a little more time. How is Trump winning? I don't understand. The people believe him. The people love him. Why? But that's okay. Give him some more. Let's buy some more time. Buy some more time, because why? The event. They'll think it's a solar flare. Humanity will burn. That's what's going on. I do believe there is an event coming, and I think it's going to be between now and 2030, 2032. I believe a massive event is coming that will change humanity forever, and it'll be the dividing line where everyone will remember where humanity was before, pre, and post event. It's coming, and I think it's going to be 9/11 on steroids. And there's no stopping it. It's just about how can we buffer it, neutralize it, and come out on the other side. I'm telling you this, folks. This is real. How do we come out on the other side of this event that's coming? But I do believe we're going into a new paradigm. And, honestly, Mickey Clan talked about it beautifully on this podcast that I did with her, which I will be airing tomorrow. It's phenomenal. You don't want to miss this podcast. I'll air it at 6 p.m. tomorrow night. It's epic. Epic. It is so crazy that ChatGPT mapped all this out. And I guarantee you, every single one of you are going to be like, man, that makes all the sense in the world. Was 2020 a portal year? Was 2020 when we jumped timelines? I think it was. I think you either fell more vastly asleep or you graduated into the next state of evolutionary consciousness, in which now where we're at now. And I think we're going to still witness a lot more casualties of war because of, you know why, this and many other things over the next 10 years. I've heard the spike can be a 600% spike. It's sad, but it is what it is. It's casualties of war. I believe any scare event with this particular country will switch. Okay, so hold on. Okay. I believe a massive event is coming that will change humanity forever and send us into a new paradigm. And you know what? You know who just might kick this off and send us in that direction? Russia. They might be the necessary evil. Now, are they in on it? I don't know. I believe any scare event with this particular country will switch our command from SCS to NORAD Cheyenne, and that's just the beginning. Because what I understand, solar flares are going to be an imminent threat. You know what they can do? They can knock out a whole grid system, folks. There's still a lot of things that need to happen before the ultimate scare event, in which I believe we will have to do with our beautiful sun. Our beautiful sun. I think the biggest event will involve solar flares. Now, that's just my opinion. Nikki Haley calls for President Trump to release the Epstein files. Let the chips fall where they may. And what's Trump saying? He's saying it's a fabricated Democrat hoax. Do I believe that? No. Because then why is Ghislaine Maxwell in jail? Why did she have a submarine? Why did she fly planes? We demand transparency with the Epstein list. Breaking, the Rules Committee just voted 7-5 to block Rep. Khanna's amendment that would have forced a House vote demanding AG Pam Bondi to release the Epstein files. Well, you did see what she released not too long ago to a lot of influencers that were like a big, what do they call it? Nothing burger. Yeah, it was a big nothing burger. All 7 no votes were Republicans. All 5 yes votes, 4 Democrats, 1 Republican, What are Republicans so afraid of? So here it comes now. Here's the big standoff. Here's one of the standoffs, at least. The sole rebel Republican who voted to release the Epstein files in a bold move defying Trump's administration, a lone Republican has risked President Donald Trump's ire after voting with Democrats to bid release of the Jeffrey Epstein files. California Democrat Rep. Ro Khanna pushed an amendment to upcoming crypto legislation that would have forced Attorney General Pam Bondi to release all Epstein-related documents. Bondi would have to share the files on a publicly accessible website within 30 days of passage. However, the effort was foiled, failing 5-7 during a Monday night vote by the House Rules Committee, a group of lawmakers that generally sign off on legislation before it gets a final vote on the House floor. The sensational files, which Trump promised to release while campaigning, will remain under lock and key at the Justice Department for now. The president, if he's caught wind of the nail-biting legislation maneuver, may be unhappy with how close this effort was to succeeding, as he and his cabinet members have worked to delegitimize calls for transparency in the high-profile case. So what's your thoughts? I want to know from my audience right now. What are your thoughts on this? What's your thoughts? You guys understand that Russiagate is coming. 2020 is coming. It's all coming down the pipeline. Is this going to be used as a tool to maybe control some of Congress, some of the big wigs, big corporations? I don't know. Is that why Benjamin Netanyahu has come out to say, I want to nominate Trump for the Nobel Peace Prize? I mean, the guy looks like he's severely relieved. But hey, if you understand chess, we're going to make some other big moves. And I think the big moves are going to be Russiagate and 2020. Watch and see. It's going to start soon. The FBI's Jeffrey Epstein prison video had nearly 3 minutes cut out, folks. Okay, so this is pretty damn sloppy, if you ask me. 3 minutes of the Epstein video had been cut out. Metadata from the raw Epstein prison video shows approximately 2 minutes and 53 seconds were removed from one of the two stitched together clips. The cut starts right at the missing minute. So are they doing this on purpose? Sure seems like it to me. I mean, this has got to be intentional, right? It's so sloppy. It's so sloppy, folks. Have you guys watched this? Newly uncovered metadata reveals that nearly 3 minutes of footage were cut from what the U.S. Department of Justice and Federal Bureau of Investigation described as full raw surveillance video from the only functioning camera near Jeffrey Epstein's prison cell that night before he was found dead. The video was released last week as part of the Trump administration's commitment to fully investigate Epstein's 2019 death, but instead has raised new questions about how the footage was edited or altered. What the hell's going on here? Stay the course, folks. Black Sheep family, stay the course. I'm telling you, you're going to get excited. This summer is going to be very exciting. Man who served time in the same cell as Epstein says there's just no way. There's just no way he was able to self-delete. It would be almost impossible. And you know what, folks? I've spent time in jail cells, and I'll tell you what. I don't see how you do it in there. Unless you're a midget and you jump off the bed, the top bunk, I don't know. Maybe. Fall on your head? Maybe. You got to be very small to do that. But I guess if you're determined, right, folks? If you're really determined, you can do it. I don't know. I don't think so. I don't think you can hang yourself. How did he do it, Alex? How did he do it? Did he jump off the bunk with a linen around his neck? How did he do it?
I think that's what it's a hangings, or like what they do is like you tie it there and then you lean forward. So you're like, okay. You could just be on your knees. You don't have to be actually suspended. You could just be like.
So then what happens is you black out, right? I used to do that with my friends in school, in grade school. Remember, did you ever do that where you like hold each other's necks and then you pass out?
Yeah, kids are doing it
in the balls. So you're telling me maybe he leaned forward, did that, blacked out and just stayed that way, and he ultimately cut off his air and died.
That's how people do it, typically in jail and prison when they self-delete by hanging. It's like that, but it takes a long time. You have to slowly get the elastic out of your socks and out of your underwear, and then create tie it into a rope that's thick enough.
And
there you go. Takes time.
So I thought it was like a blanket or something. I don't know.
Yeah, those types of things, they won't, they might remove it from the cell. I'm not sure exactly what was in there,
but do you see how valuable this guy is to both sides? So I've heard from very credible people that he's still alive, and that would make the most sense to me, because even the guy that they dragged out of there did not look like him. It didn't look like him.
Yeah.
At least in my opinion. I don't know what my audience says. Let me know what your thoughts are, folks. Do you think it was Epstein that did it? Do you think? Okay, let's ask the question. Do you think Epstein self-deleted? There's the simple question. Put it in the super chat. Also, folks, I'm going to cut feed from Facebook in about 5 minutes, and we're going to cut it from Facebook and X and just get to YouTube. Please help me help you, folks, por favor. So a former inmate was held in the same prison cell as the late sex offender Jeffrey Epstein told news station on Monday there was just no way Epstein could have committed a self-delete in that cell. Introducing former Colombo crime family mobster Michael Frenzies, and the News Nation Banfield host Ashley Banfield revealed that Frenzies served time in the exact same cell as Epstein, where he supposedly self-deleted, reacting to the Trump administration conclusion that there was no evidence Epstein died any other way but self-deleting. He said this: well, listen, I spent 7 months on that tier and in those cells, and the first thing I have to say is there's just no way you're able to commit self-deleting. There's just no way. There's just no way to hang yourself. There's nothing from the ceiling. There's nothing from you'd have to be he says it here himself as well. You'd have to be a midget to work really hard to try to hang yourself, and I don't think you're going to accomplish it at that point. As far as the cameras, I just said that. See, folks, I told you. As far as the cameras being off, I haven't experienced that. So he even says he's never experienced the cameras being off. I did 8 years in prison. I have never experienced the cameras being broken or off. And in a perfect storm, correctional officers not walking around those stairs. So at the same time the cameras are off, the correctional officers are not walking around. None of this adds up. They're absolutely withholding information from you, folks. Okay, I'm just going to say it right here. But what we're trying to examine is, for what reason? Why? Why are they coming out with such a blatant lie? And I don't blame Dan Bongino. I know Dan Bongino has a pretty solid spine. He's not a jellyfish. He probably knows that this is a lie that's being put onto the American public, the people, and he can't live with himself. But let's look at the bigger picture. So we all know that. But what's really the bigger picture here? Leverage. It has to be. And if you did out everybody and just release the list, I guarantee you the entire structure of the company, of the country, the infrastructure, everything would fall apart, folks. Banks, everything fall apart, wide open season for everybody and everything. And therefore, we really could lose our country. Let's look at the bigger picture here. But we can use it as Russiagate breaks open and 2020 as leverage, because you really could, with precision, pick certain names out and say, hey, look what we got on you. And not only that, we've been looking at tens and thousands of video footage, and we got this, and that. Trump thinks his base is stupid. Candace Owens lights the president up over Epstein scandal. So a lot of conservative podcasters are really coming out against Trump right now. I'm not for it, I think. But then again, this is a different type of podcast. Everyone here understands the operation, understands what's going on behind the scenes. We've been over the target more than anybody out there, more than anybody. Certain podcasters have, in my little niche group of people, you all know who they are. We've been over the target time and time again. The conventional conservative mainstream have not. They're just reactionary. They just react. They react. They're not looking at this from a 60,000-foot view at all. Candace accused President Donald Trump, and I'm not talking bad about Candace. I'm not. I'm just stating the obvious on what this is and what's going on. Candace Owens accused President Donald Trump of thinking that his political base is stupid on the latest episode of her show, which she opened by calling the Jeffrey Epstein scandal terminal cancer for the MAGA movement. Man, she's really going against Trump now. She's like a bitter ex-girlfriend or something. After comparing the administration's attempt at moving on from the Epstein scandal to the stories about Hunter Biden that were dismissed by the deep state, Owens accused Trump of being guilty of gaslighting the public. I can understand that. I can get that. It seems like you think your base is stupid. That's how I feel. I feel like Trump thinks his base is stupid, or again, because I don't think he's pressing send on these messages, that people around him think that Trump is stupid. And that shouldn't surprise you, given the fact that all these people were never Trump. They were never, ever Trump. Trump is surrounded by people who hate him and have infiltrated his base, argued Owens, who went on to submit that Trump or those around him have decided to give Ukraine more weapons in order to distract from the conversation about Epstein. Now, understand Trump is art of the deal. Understand that he makes big deals, and we took Ukraine's minerals. We have Ukraine's minerals, baby. You get it? Maybe you don't. A deal was made. And now we got little Zelensky on puppet strings playing with him. Maybe he will jump off his bed in the top bunk in the jail cell. We got Zelensky. Everything is about leverage and making the deal. I know my audience understands this. I know you all get this. This is how you shape and move countries. All right, folks, we're going to switch over to YouTube. I'm going to read a quick commercial while everybody does it. Please just use your thumb and come see me over at YouTube. If you're on Facebook, you just go to YouTube. That's it. Nino's Corner right there. Hit the video and continue watching and join the conversation because we love all of you and we welcome everybody with open arms. Please, so from Facebook and X, get over to YouTube. All right, here we go. This is Trim with Nino, baby. I'm going to wait for everyone to move on over. A recent study found nearly half of patients following popular weight loss trends quit within a year, often used lower than prescribed doses, and ultimately lost less weight than they were led to believe. This is why I use this secret amazing new product, and I'm obsessed with the results. It is designed to naturally support my body's own GLP-1 production and boost levels by 50% without drugs. This is amazing stuff. Without drugs, prescriptions, or needles, it promotes safety and feelings of fullness, reduces cravings, reduces my hunger hormones, helps me lose fat instead of muscle, and supports healthy blood sugar levels. Summer is here, baby. Get your beach body. It's time to get that beach body ready. Grab your bottle of GLP-1 now to save up to 44% only at Trim with Nino. Trimwithnino.com. Trimwithnino.com. Plus, you'll have to get a free ebook titled "The 3 Weeks of Diet and 53 Fat-Burning Smoothies and Milkshakes." I use this stuff, folks. I use everything. I tell them, send it to me. Let me try it for a couple of weeks, and we'll see what we can do. I'm looking good, baby. Yeah, I'm 47 years old, folks. I stay on top of my health. I just do. The red light therapy, I got to tell you, I'm really, really impressed with that. I've really been impressed with that. Marjorie Taylor Greene goes to war with Trump over broken promises. All these women go really batshit over him, huh? Have you noticed that? It's almost like deep down, a lot of women, they desire the alpha male, but at the same time, they hate on him. Have you noticed that? I don't know. That's what I kind of see. I kind of see like if they can't be with an alpha male, they just tear him apart. Just give Sancho a call. Okay. All right. MAGA loyalist Marjorie Taylor Greene is taking on Trump again, this time blasting his decision to send weapons to Ukraine. I bet you anytime she's around him, she's like, "Oh, hello, Mr. President. How are you?" And then when he leaves, "Oh, that bastard." The Trump administration announced a move Monday saying the missile systems will be sold to European North Atlantic Treaty Organization, NATO, countries, which will then hand over the equipment to Ukraine. However, Greene thinks that the move represents the president reneging on the America First approach he campaigned on. I can understand that. I can see that. It's not just Ukraine, it's all foreign wars in general and a lot foreign aid, she told the New York Times. This is what he campaigned on, she said. This is what I promised also my district. This is what everybody voted for. And I believe we have to maintain the course. Indeed, Trump promised voters in the lead up to the election last year that he would not risk the U.S. getting entangled in foreign wars. By June, he was sending B-2 bombers to hit Iranian nuclear sites. But let's not forget, folks, he ended the war. It was a 12-day war. And repeated infractions with Russian President Vladimir Putin appear to have grabbed his attention. I'm telling you right now, this Putin thing is not going to end so smoothly. I'm going to tell you that right now. Most Republicans are concerned about the price of foreign wars being picked up by taxpayers. Trump's administration tried to align those fears by asserting that it is Europe, specifically NATO, that will foot the bill for the shipment of surface-to-air Patriot missile systems and batteries. But Green thinks that regular Americans will bear at least some of the cost. Of course we will. Of course we will. I don't know if a lot of you have been paying attention lately to Trump, but there are some anomalies or like these weird discrepancies. There's some things in the photos that I've been watching that don't add up. You know, I saw a few pictures of him. He had a bruised hand. I don't know if you guys saw this. There's other pictures of him he's like 5'11". You know, there's other pictures of him where he's a tall man. He's 6'3". I don't doubt that he has doubles. You know, Benjamin Fulford says, oh, he's been replaced because that's why he's flip-flopping. I don't buy that. You know, I'm not going to jump into that camp, but I think there's definitely something going on with a double or him. I can't figure it out, but let's go into it. So I saw this picture, and it's of his swollen ankles. Donald Trump's swollen ankles sparked fresh health fears as President crammed into shoes. Now, the reason I bring this up is because my dad has swollen feet, swollen ankles. That's bad circulation. Now, I don't know if this is what Trump is dealing with, but it's worth bringing out to the open. Photos taken of President Donald Trump at the FIFA Club World Cup on Sunday showing what appear to be his severely swollen ankles have sparked new health fears among social media users. Look at those ankles. Damn. It's like Cabbage Patch Kid. Photos of President Donald Trump at the FIFA Club World Club on Sunday revealing what seems to be severely swollen ankles have ignited fresh health concerns among social media users. Donald and Melania Trump were present at the finals match at MetLife Stadium in New Jersey as part of the wider initiative to boost U.S. participation in the sport ahead of next year's World Cup, which will be primarily hosted in America. Trump received a mix of cheers and boos when he was displayed on the stadium screen and was booed again while he presented medals to the match winners. I don't know if he was booed. I saw some of it. It didn't sound like he was being booed too much. But with this event that's coming to America, you better believe they're sounding the alarm bells for what? Terrorism alerts. So terrorism is in the air. New York governor says World Cup is a prime target for drone attacks. Washington, July 14th, New York Governor Kathy Hochul called on Monday for President Donald Trump to boost federal defense against drone attacks, saying events like the World Cup and the U.S. 250th anniversary celebrations are prime targets. She noted that next summer, the New York area will be the epicenter for multiple high-profile events, including the World Cup, the Flotilla of Tall Ships International Naval Review, the largest ever Macy's fireworks show, and America's 250th birthday celebration, which will present prime targets for terrorism. We need a comprehensive federal strategy that not only dramatically improves drone detection capabilities nationally, but also provides robust, multi-layered mitigation measures, Hochul said in a letter to Trump released on Monday. She said the government needed to do a better job of protecting critical infrastructure like population centers, utilities, and military assets. Hochul urged the White House to take action, citing a series of incidents last year and the mounting use of drones in the war in Ukraine and other troubled spots around the world. I personally think that we do not, and I'm going to say this again, do not have all terrorism or potential terrorism threats in America neutralized yet. And that's why I think he's playing ball with the Epstein list. Because why? Not all terrorism threats are neutralized in America yet. When you understand the game and everything that's going on, I know you do, folks. I know my audience does. I think that we still have major problems here. And when Benjamin Netanyahu comes out and says, Tel Aviv today, New York tomorrow, I believe him. And I think there was maybe, and this is just speculation, I think maybe there was an agreement made dealing with Iran, the strikes on Iran, a package deal where maybe Benjamin Netanyahu and Trump said, keep the Epstein list to yourself. Don't let it out. We're going to use it as leverage. We're not going to just release everything. And then he all of a sudden decides to nominate Trump for a Nobel Peace Prize. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know. Let me know your thoughts in the chat. This is all speculation, by the way. None of it is proven anything. Jacob King posts. Now, this is some financial news. Bitcoin is on the brink of its bloodiest event in modern history, and no one is talking about it. Tether is about to be banned once the Genius Act passes the Senate. Now, if you want to know about the Genius Act, I think Larry Ballard talked about it on the show that I just aired last night. Why do you think they've been desperately printing USDT out of thin air, pumping prices to unsustainable all-time highs? Institutional data shows this week had the largest ETF outflows ever. Whales are quietly abandoning the sinking ship. Meanwhile, Tether insiders are offloading record amounts of BTC through OTC. I have no idea what the fuck that means. If you own crypto, get out while you can. What? Really? If you own crypto, get out while you still can. This isn't just a crash. It's an unprecedented bloodbath event waiting to unfold. Tether provides 85 to 90% of all fake volume for BTC and is the glue holding everything up. Once it's gone, people will realize how fake everything has been. I don't doubt it. Now, I've heard the crypto Bitcoin whole thing is the B system and that's what's going to be taken down. I don't know. I have XRP and I have gold and silver. When I talked to Juan about this, he never, ever endorses crypto. Never. He only endorses gold and silver. He brought me a safe. He brought me a safe to El Paso, believe it or not. I cannot believe it. I hate when my coffee gets cold. I can't stand it. How's everyone doing today? David Nino Rodriguez, love your realness. I love it. Fuck. I mean, I'm just, folks, I'm just doing what I'm doing. I don't know. This all happened as an accident. You all know this. I didn't fucking try to do this. Nothing. This whole podcast thing. I just said, you know what? I learned as I went. I just kind of did that viral video. And then I started learning as I go. I went and bought a microphone like at Best Buy I ordered it on Amazon and I was like, all right, how do I plug this thing into my laptop? I had this shitty little PC. I was a boxer, folks. I didn't know shit about tech, nothing. I'm still learning. That's why I have Alex. So that's why Alex is here because, I don't know. I don't know how to work this damn thing. It's been a nice ride, though. It's been pretty cool. It's my life. That's why I believe everything that Mickey Clan says in this video that you guys are gonna. Hopefully, you guys watch that I air tomorrow about this timeline jump and 2020 being a portal year. I don't know about you all, but everything changed for me after 2020. But that's also the year that I quit drinking. I actually quit drinking 2019 of December 26, 2019. So. Like all this happening right now, it's so crazy. And that's like I'm still coexisting with these other. I'm seeing everything from a bird's eye view now, from a different perspective. And I'm still coexisting with I don't want to say lower dimensions, but I don't know. It's a really weird thing to be awake during this time in history. It's a strange thing. It's a phenomenal thing, but it's also very strange. I really do believe we're coming into another timeline shift, another portal year. And I think that's when the event's going to happen. Whatever this event is, I think it's going to happen before 2032. Just an opinion. Just an opinion. Let's get to World War III news, folks. Trump gives Russia 50 days. 50 days to make Ukraine deal. U.S. President Donald Trump told Russia on Monday to end its Ukraine war within 50 days or face massive new economic sanctions as he laid out plans for new infusions of weaponry for Kiev via NATO. Now, a lot of us don't like this. I'm one of them. Trump said he was very, very unhappy with Vladimir Putin, underlining his insistence that his patience had finally snapped with the Russian leader's refusal to end his 3-year-old invasion of Ukraine. We're going to be doing very severe tariffs if we don't get a deal in 50 days. Tariffs at about 100% is what Trump is saying. So he's going to smack more tariffs on them in 50 days, Trump said during an Oval Office meeting with NATO Secretary General Mark Rutte. The Republican added that there would be secondary tariffs that target Russia's remaining trade partners, seeking to cripple Moscow's ability to survive already sweeping Western sanctions. Now, you got to think, not only would this cripple Russia, but you got to also believe Putin has a massive, massive ego. Massive ego. And I would kind of feel betrayed, to be quite honest with you, if, from the looks of it, Trump takes Zelensky's side. I would still feel like, I don't know. I don't know how you all. I see. Like I said, I feel like Putin's really an ally to Trump, and I know a lot of you feel the same way. But I don't know how I would feel about this. It seems like Trump has a knack for pissing people off, almost like he brings them in, gets cozy with them, uses them up, and then betrays them. I don't know. Look at Elon Musk. Elon Musk. That's why he's going batshit crazy on X, because maybe he feels like a used prostitute. I don't know. And maybe Putin also feels betrayed. I mean, I'm just looking at both sides here. Trump is strictly a businessman, and that's how he looks at everything. But I don't know. Russia warns of nuclear Armageddon after Trump's latest Ukraine move. World War III tension has spiked as Vladimir Putin is said to be giving detailed thought to using nukes in Ukraine after Donald Trump's latest move. Donald Trump was today warned by Moscow that he is pushing Russia towards nuclear war with his new go-ahead for arms to Ukraine and the threat of punitive sanctions. What? State TV propagandist and war pundit Alexander Salgarkov said Trump is trying to scare us with missiles. But this is difficult to do. Trump should be scared. Trump is the one that should be scared. Everyone is trying to push us to turn Kiev into Lviv, into Hiroshima or Nagasaki. The Ukraine leadership is calling for new missiles to strike Russian territory. This is crazy. Is taking the most active part in this. America is now taking the most active part in this. It comes as Fox News fans declare it's the end of MAGA as Donald Trump loses his base with the Epstein files dud and now the support for Russia or for Ukraine. So let me know I want to look right here. I want to look in the comments right now and see, are you all still sticking with Trump? Are you all still sticking with Trump? Are you losing? I mean, do you know people who are leaving the MAGA base right now? I would like to know. And please include that in your super chat. I'll be taking super chats today. World War III tension spike as Vladimir Putin giving detailed thought to using nukes in Ukraine. Vladimir Putin is seriously contemplating the use of tactical nuclear weapons in Ukraine, warns a former high-ranking British Army officer. Despite Russia's overwhelming advantage in manpower and weaponry, it has struggled to make substantial progress in the battlefield. That's true, because they got all of NATO behind Ukraine. A recent study by the U.S. Center for Strategic and International Studies, CSIS, highlighted that since January of 2024, Putin's army has only managed to capture approximately 5,000 square kilometers of territory. So what's your all's thoughts on this? I also want to give a thumbs up to all my moderators. Thank you so much for what you're doing. Whew. You know, folks, it's kind of difficult to get up here every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday and bring you the news the way I do. I appreciate any super chat, Venmo, D-Rod 1977. If you don't want to do either of those, you can donate on ninoscorner.tv as well. You can donate on ninoscorner.tv or simply become a member. Go to ninoscorner.tv and sign up. Sign up for the Ringside with Nino. It's going to be fun. We're doing the second one this month. All right, folks, border news, which I know a lot about. Border news. Trump administration arrests illegal immigrant Arizona taco shop owner in major immigration sting, accused of employing dozens of illegal immigrants. The Trump administration's Homeland Security Investigations, HSI unit, has arrested the owner of the Phoenix-based taco restaurant for employing and allegedly smuggling in illegal immigrants. Vladimir Angulo Anduedes, a 42-year-old illegal immigrant himself, was arrested Tuesday and hit with multiple federal charges, including harboring illegal immigrants, employing unauthorized workers, and illegal possession of firearms as part of the operation. I'm going to tell you this right now, folks. There are so many illegals that are not leaving. I live in a border town. You all think they're self-deporting? No, they're not. They're not self-deporting. They're going nowhere. They firmly believe that Trump will not be here in 3 years. Everything will get reversed. So they're going to wait out the storm, what they're calling the storm on their end. They believe, hey, I'm just going to wait this out. I'm going to hide the best way I can. And at the worst, I'll get deported and I'll just come back in 4 years. That's what they're saying. Because they believe a Democrat will come in 4 years. They're already seeing Trump's base fall apart. I'm telling you what I'm hearing here on the border. I'm telling you their strategy. What I'm telling you is experience of what I'm hearing. So they're going to wait till Trump's base falls apart, which it is right now, and just come back in 3.5 years, even if they get deported. They're not worried about it. They're staying home. They're not going out. They're just laying low. They're kind of going through what we went through in 2020. They're just doing the same thing. They're just laying low. Remember, we went through the purge, the whole thing. Well, they're kind of going through the same thing too, folks. So they're just laying low. They're going to wait this out. And I'll be quite honest. I can see why. I'm not taking their side, but I can understand what they're doing because what we went through in 2020. So they're going through the same type of thing right now. And they're like, fuck this, man. I'm going to wait this out. I'm going to wait it out. And if I get deported, at the very least, I'll just come back in the country in 4 years. That's what they're thinking, folks. I'm telling you that right now. And they're all protecting each other. They're all protecting each other in the police, judges. They have family. It's so much more complicated than people think. You're not going to get these people to self-deport. I think the only way they self-deport is once the 3 years are up, 3.5 years are up, and another Republican gets in that is MAGA or Trump, whatever he does. But I understand why they're holding out and why they're waiting around. So Angulo, who runs the popular taqueria El Taco Loco on 67th Avenue and Indian School Road, I've been there a bunch of times, along with a mobile taco trailer and taco bus. I'll tell you what, I don't see a lot of the food trucks around El Paso anymore. I will say that. Was found to have housed and employed at least 12 illegal immigrants at his properties in Levine and Maricopa. Federal agents raided Angulo's homes and businesses and found 3 firearms, hundreds of rounds of ammunition, and a network of foreign nationals reportedly smuggled into the country and working under the table. Several of the workers told federal agents that Angulo personally arranged and financed their illegal entry, charging them up to $12,000 per person. Holy shit. To be paid off through cash or indentured labor. So he's like a slave master. Jesus, man. Despite being previously deported in 2021, Angulo admitted he illegally re-entered the U.S. just months later. See, they don't care, folks. It's an open door policy. They just come back in. They sneak right back in. A baseball coach says he fended off ICE agents questioning kids on the Upper West Side. After coaching baseball on the west side of Manhattan for more than 20 years, Yeoman Wilder, motherfucker, says he had a first-of-a-kind experience at the end of last month. Wilder was leading a group of 11 middle school kids through a batting cage practice near 72nd Street in Riverside Park when he had an unexpected run-in with the United States Immigration and Customs Enforcement, ICE, agents, according to the baseball coach. I go over quickly, and the agents were asking the kids all kind of appropriate questions, motherfucker. Things like, where are they from, their country of origin. So I say, whoa, 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 motherfucker. And I tell the officers that their questions are inappropriate. And then I'm going to tell my kids not to answer them. Yeah. I don't think they achieved in taking any kids away, so don't worry about it. I cried every night. ICE traumatizes a child with leukemia. Man, they were really trying to make ICE to be the big bad wolf, right? I don't understand. I don't know where the disconnect of legal and illegal is, but there's a big disconnection here. The Trump administration is going after easy targets, including sick children, to meet its deportation quotas. As part of the President Donald Trump mass deportation campaign, a young cancer patient and his family were detained despite adhering to every rule of the immigration process. The boy's lawyer says the family's experience puts to lie the Trump administration claims about deportation. In May, a 6-year-old boy from Honduras who entered the country illegally, all right, that's what they left out here, who had been suffering from acute lymphoblastic leukemia since the age of 3, was detained by Immigration and Customs Enforcement alongside his family immediately after a court hearing on May 29th. Their case was dismissed at the hearing per instructions from Trump, who directed judges to dismiss the cases of immigrants who had been in the country for less than 2 years so that ICE can move to deport them. On July 2nd, the family was released after significant pressure from the public and media coverage of the detention. Oh, boy. Now, this is, I think, very promising, folks. Florida airports ordered to report any weather modification activities. This is insane. Florida airports soon must submit monthly reports on weather modification activities or face the loss of state funding under a controversial new law derided by critics as fueling conspiracy theories. Florida Attorney General James Uthmeyer wrote to operators of public airports on Monday that their compliance is needed to catch those who seek to weaponize science and will safeguard the atmosphere from harmful chemicals and experiments. This is wild. We need your help to keep our state free and make sure that skies belong to the people, not to private contractors, corporate experiments, or climate extremists, he wrote. In Florida, we don't jeopardize the public health so that we can bend the need to climate cult. So I really hope Texas, New Mexico, California, all jump on the bandwagon on this one. Heavy rains and flash flooding sweep across the Northeast. Heavy rain swept across parts of the U.S. Northeast on Monday night, inundating sections of New York and New Jersey. Now, I don't know if you all saw these videos, but they're pretty crazy. Flooding all over New Jersey, all over the New York subways. I mean, insanity. Closed subway lines and led to declaration of a state of emergency. So we get Texas, we get New Mexico, now we're getting New York, New Jersey. Do any of you out there think this is natural? Because I don't at all. I think none of this is natural. New Jersey Governor Phil Murphy declared a state of emergency due to flash flooding and heavy rainfall, advising people to stay indoors and avoid unnecessary travel. A video posted on social media by CBS showed floodwaters bring a major roadway in Scotch Plains, New Jersey to a standstill, stranding buses. This kind of gives for me, I kind of think watch the water, because nothing really made sense till now. Flash flood warnings issued to New York and New Jersey. Folks, to me, I got to tell you, I was at the Guadalupe River after the flood. I went down there. I did video on it. I'm telling you right now, it did not look. I mean, the power of that flood that rose 36 feet in just 1 hour. I videoed all of it. cars upside down, trees uprooted. I've never seen anything like that in my life. And when I was driving into the storm, folks, when I was driving into the storm, I saw streaks of light shooting up from the road into the sky. Now, this is not a joke. Not a joke. I saw this. I don't know what's going on, but I think we all know what's going on. If you hear what I'm saying, I'm fluff tube. All right, stay or go. We're getting into some transgender news. For some transgender San Diego sailors and Marines, Trump's ban leaves one option. Come and find me. Oh, and I hope you do find me, Mr. Trump. Sadie Cutherman imagines she's on a sinking ship. The room she's in is slowly filling with water. She can see a window to escape, but it's just out of reach. Even if she does get out, she has no idea what she'll find beyond. Maybe a salami. An island or just an expansive open ocean. For the 26-year-old, life in the U.S. military is all she's ever known. Now, the Trump administration's ban on transgender troops from the military is leaving her adrift. An apt analogy for the U.S. Navy air control officer. I grew up in a military family. I grew up all around it, and I had a desire to do that, Kaufman said. If you ever were to sit down and ask me, when you get out of the service, what's your plan? I had no idea. I don't have a dream. Shit. Oh. Service members like Cutterman who call San Diego home are thinking about what life will look like after the military, an institution they have built their lives around, and that is now forcing them to leave. Collectively, they have decades of experience ascending to some of the highest ranks of the service, and they aren't leaving due to misconduct. But under President Donald Trump's executive order, prioritizing military excellence and readiness, they are no longer seen as viable or a fit to serve. The emotion is one of betrayal, said Veronica Zerer. What's his real name? An Army veteran who serves on the California Veterans Board and co-chairs the San Diego LGBTQ Community Center's Veterans Wall of Honor. They feel betrayed by their commands, by their country. For months, uncertainty has swirled around the policy and how it would be fully implemented. And some service members wonder how San Diego's own military community will be impacted, especially if members end up leaving the region when they leave the service. The policy was enacted by executive order in January, then temporarily blocked by a federal court in March. But in May, the U.S. Supreme Court allowed the ban to take effect while legal challenges proceed. The Trump administration told transgender troops that they could voluntarily leave the service with an honorable discharge and additional separation pay or wait to be forced to leave with unclear repercussions. I don't know what you all think about this. There's one side of me that's like, man, I don't care who you are, what you think you are, or whatever. If you want to serve, whatever. But then I also get the readiness of the military. I see both sides. Look, I'm not picking up a gun and heading into the trenches to fight. And if some dude that likes to call himself Sally wants to do it, go right ahead. Go right ahead. Go fight for me. I don't know. I see different sides of this. I don't know. Not all transgender people have experienced gender. I didn't want to say that word. And not all people with such a diagnosis are transgender. But the diagnosis in the military's best way of tracking the numbers of transgender people serving. Active duty troops had until June 6th to voluntarily separate, and National Guard and Reserve members had until last Monday. I would say, though, if I was like in boot camp with one of them and I was in the shower, I don't know. I'd feel kind of uncomfortable. I'm just going to be honest. I don't know. I don't know if I'd be walking around in my underwear, but I don't know. All right, folks, let's get to what the fuck news. And what the fuck news, and then I'm going to read. But you know what? Before we get into what the fuck news, let's do the super chats. Alex, what do you say?
Yeah, let's do them, Nino. We had a couple that I jotted down from the end of the show on Monday. Let me just pull those up real quick. I didn't jot down the people's names, but I think we mentioned this. You talked about this earlier.
Let's talk Benjamin Fulford. You know what? He's very convincing. Trump replaced. I mean, it's very convincing with the photos I'm looking at. Trump is not 5'11". This is weird. Like, I've seen this stuff and I've seen the photos, and that's not Trump's height. So that's why. And then everything Benjamin Fulford also said in this podcast, Alex, I've double checked and verified. A lot of it is true. So would this be the one thing he's lying about? I don't know, dude. And we know what happened to Biden in 2020. Trump gave this stamp of approval on that. So he even retruthed it, unless he's crazy. So could he himself have been replaced? What he says is what they did with Biden in 2020, they just did with Trump when he went to the G7 summit meeting, and they replaced him, and the real Trump is in Greenland. Dude, would anything surprise anybody now? Really, I don't know. I mean, I'm going to say I call bullshit, but damn, dude, I mean, no Epstein list, right? A lot of people would believe this because no Epstein list, the Iran strikes, the Ukraine funding. I mean, everything he basically campaigned on, he's doing. So I can see why people would believe that.
Yeah.
I totally see it. I can totally see it. Yeah.
I don't know what this was in reference to, but it was from the last show talking about the Epstein files, or if anyone wants to check out this part of the Constitution.
Yeah, would you ever consider interviewing Caitlin Bennett from Liberty Hangout? Sure, absolutely. I'll interview anybody. Prince Andrew was stripped of titles and medals because he is guilty. Why doesn't Ghislaine rat out everyone now? I believe it's strategic. It has to be strategic. I don't think that Trump would commit administrative delete, if you know what I mean, or MAGA delete by not. It's hard for me to believe, but like I said, I bring different guests on to talk about this stuff, and you all decide. I mean, I'm going to bring on 107 to talk about this specifically again. I really highly suggest being part of the General Assembly because Colonel Towner Watkins is going to have her point of view on this. Same with 107, the 2 generals in the General Assembly this month. So, and also the Ringside and Nino. Ringside with Nino is only $11, folks. So, it is what it is. Samaji S. Denmark just passed a law. Citizens now own their own face, voice, and body. And new war and deepfakes. Yeah. So yeah, I think we all should own our own face. Actually, Mickey Clan talks about this in the podcast that's going to be airing tomorrow. You don't want to miss this, folks. It's really good. It's really, really good. All right, let's get to some. These are new super chats.
Yeah, these are new ones.
Kelly Panetsky, thank you so much for this super sticker. I appreciate you. Beverly Adams, thank you, super sticker. Kelly Panetsky again, thank you so much.
Thanks, Kelly.
True Seeker, getting child abusers off the street is way more important than Russiagate. I agree with you. I'm not disagreeing, but when they say a national security threat, what if the whole country goes undone? I mean, I'm just saying. It's just sad. It's just sad we are controlled by by a select few. I'm not disagreeing with you on that at all. Carolyn May received my dong in the mail yesterday. Did you really? You don't say. You ordered a dong? Oh, boy. You know what? I got to do that, too. I think Larry Ballard said to do that. I suggest everyone get dong. You can get it for, $60? Like, I don't know how many, but you said that's all you really need is $60. You could potentially be a millionaire. I think that's a risk we can all take. I still haven't done it, but I'm going to go buy my dong. I'm going to go buy some dong. Remember that movie 16 Candles?
Yeah, yeah.
Dong. Long dong dong.
Man, it's been a while since I've seen that.
Remember that movie, dude?
Yeah, man, that was a good era.
God, that was a great, man. The 80s were awesome. I went T. Thank you. Thank you, David. Shield MF, I moved across the country to live near dear friends I had not met yet. You moved across the country to live near dear friends I had not met yet. It all started here at Nino's Corner 3 years ago. I love Alex, Nino, and Trump. Oh, so you met them on Nino's Corner. Is that what she's saying?
Yeah, we love you too.
Wow, that's awesome. That's so cool. See, that's also like, well, join the Ringside with Nino. We meet twice a month. It's awesome. We all get together and we talk. And it's not always like, it doesn't always have to be like crucial, end of the world shit. We just talk about alcohol or friends or whatever. And that's twice a month on ninoscorner.tv. If you're a lonely person like I am nowadays, then join us and you won't be lonely no more. Debbie Cole, thank you so much. Debbie Clover. Kelly Panetsky, thank you so much, sweetheart.
Thanks again, Kelly.
Quentin B, did you see the press release? John Solomon didn't just speculate, he confirmed it. The DOJ and FBI have been quietly building a massive criminal conspiracy case against the deep state. Absolutely. I didn't see this press release. Was it today? Quentin B, did you see this, Alex?
No, I haven't heard of this. I'll have to look into it. John Solomon.
Okay. John Solomon didn't just speculate. Okay. Debbie Clore, awake in 2020, red light therapy is the greatest. Isn't it awesome? Folks, I'm telling you, I started noticing the benefits. I feel like I could have been in my mind, but I felt it the first time I used it. But really, after about 3 weeks to a month and a little longer, I have a lot of energy. I feel really good when I wake up in the morning, but you got to use it. I use it every day. So I'm a stickler when it comes to that. A lot of people are not like that. A lot of people are not. They can't stick with anything. Folks, I'm going to give you a secret. Here's the secret to sticking with things. Where you frequent the most, like my desk, I keep my C60 right here. It's right here. Oh, shit, I dropped in my coffee. Oh, that sucks. Oh, well, I'm having some C60 with my coffee. And then the IGF-1, I keep it right here on my desk. That way I'm always here. I remember to do it. So where are the places I'm at? My desk, my truck, and my bed. Or next to my television. I don't watch too much TV. But my bed. So I put it right there on my dresser. Whatever I need to take at night on my dresser. In the morning when I go into the kitchen, I have my little section of supplements I take every morning in the kitchen. And then on my desk. So I always see it. I go, I got to take that. I got to take that. So that's how you do it. That's how you stay religious on taking your supplements and everything you're doing. You put them in places where you constantly frequent. So you see them and go, I got to take that. That's what I do. Next to the coffee machine, I keep my collagen.
Smart.
Yeah, it's the only way, dude. Otherwise, you forget. Like you do it for like 2 or 3 weeks, and then you forget. But if you keep it right to the place where you're always at, you won't break the habit. Yeah. Susan Schatt, thank you so much. Appreciate you and President Trump. Betty Capello, is that how you say it?
Capello.
Damn, dude. After watching Larry Ballard on your show, I'm interested in buying the Vietnamese dong. And he suggests how I heard you can go to Wells Fargo and do it there. Love you and all the Black Sheep family. So I heard you can go to maybe an exchange like Uphold or something like that. I think you might be able to buy it on there. Or you can go into Wells Fargo and ask to buy some dong. Amy W., did you capture the lightning of it? No, it was so fast. And it wasn't lightning. It was like streaks going up from the road. It was strange. And it just happened quick, and I caught it, and I was like, whoa, man, it was insane. And then the sky got blacker. So it was pretty nuts. Illegal immigration is wrong, but so is child abuse. I agree.
100%.
I agree. Folks, any of you giving me on the super chat, it would help me help you if you go to ninoscorner.tv and subscribe. Nino, my wife and I met you in Ruidoso. Really? At K-Bob Steakhouse? Oh, I remember you, man. I was going to the salad bar for chatting with us. Nice to meet you, champ. Yeah, I met you. Good people, man. Yes. I saw you there. That's a damn good restaurant, by the way. They have the best rolls. Salad bar, K-Bob. I don't know if there's K-Bobs around the country, but definitely that's the last one I've seen is in Ruidoso. I don't even know if Ruidoso you can even go there anymore because they're the one that they also had flooding. They also had really bad flooding. Like I think they lost two people died. Houses floated away. It's crazy. Geez. Yeah, dude. Super Zager, $10. Thank you so much. Wow, thank you.
That's
all right, folks. I appreciate all of you. Well, there's another one. Bree won there.
Yep.
Had a dream about this last night. Trump was pissed that Epstein is taking time away from the operation. Trump has a sequence he is following, and Russia collusion takes down Brennan, Comey, Clapper, Strzok, Page, McCabe. Etc. I agree with you. Yes, and I've had to get on the phone and discuss this many times. Yeah, I agree. I totally agree. Is that it?
That's it.
All right, let's get some what the fuck news. What the fuck news? All right, robot umpires to make all-star game debut. Another step toward possible regular season use by the year 2026. Oh, man. Tariq Skubal views the strike zone differently than robot umpires. I have this thing where I think everything is a strike until the umpire calls it a ball. Detroit's Cy Young Award winner said ahead of his start in the American League on Tuesday night's All-Star game. MLB has been experimenting with the automated ball strike system in the minor leagues since 2019, and will use it in an All-Star game for the first time this summer. So there goes another job. Umpires are gone. Each team gets 2 challenges and retains a challenge if it is successful. Why do we even have refs? Soon we're going to have AI refs in NFL, AI boxing refs. You won't watch it. See, I'm going to guarantee you sports are going to be taken out of the equation completely soon. That's what they want. You're going to see no more sports played by human beings anymore. It's going to be like avatars with a 5-year-old that's linked up to all these sensors that's going to be playing it in his living room. And he's going to be making millions and millions of dollars. Jeez. Pitchers think everything is a strike. Then you go back and look at it, and it's 2-3 balls off. Pittsburgh Paul Skeens started his second straight All-Star game for the National League, said Monday, we should not be the ones that are challenging it. MLB sets the top of automated strike zone at 53.5% of a batter's height and the bottom of 27%, based the decision on the midpoint of the plate, 8.5 inches from the front and 8.5 inches from the back. That sounds pretty dirty. That contrasts to the rule book zone, MLB called by umpires, which says the zone is a cube. MLB sets the top automated strike zone at 53.5% of a batter's height and the bottom at 27%, basing the decision on the midpoint of the plate, 8.5 inches from the front and 8.5 inches from the back. So what do you all think about this? Do you think umpires should be replaced by AI? This is just the beginning, folks. Just think about this. This is just by 2026. By 2030, I'm going to guarantee you most everything will be replaced by AI. I guarantee it. I think that's what's coming. And I think we got to be careful with this garbage because people aren't going to have jobs anymore. What are people going to be doing? Like, what are you going to, what function is anyone going to have? Well, you're going to be able to live a better life. You're going to be able to do what you want. Really? I don't know. You're not going to be able to drive anymore, right? I mean, what are you going to be able to do anymore? You're not going to have I think work keeps us all busy, keeps our mind off, idleness is the devil's workshop. When you're busy, when you're not busy, at least my mind goes dark. That's what I have to say. That's when I want to drink. If AI takes over everything, I guarantee you a lot more people are going to be in the bars, getting drunk, getting wasted with an AI bartender. Guaranteed. Watch. You're going to see it. What are people going to do when they have all the time in the world to do whatever they want? They do it now. Drink. Because it's depressing when you don't have a job or you're not doing something you love. But it gives us more time to do what we love. What? Drink? Be a derelict? A degenerate? Guaranteed. Guaranteed that's what most people are going to be doing. Work keeps you busy. Folks, podcasting saved my ass. Saved my life. If it wasn't for you all, who knows where I'd be. And I really want to say thank you to all of you because I really mean that from the bottom of my heart. I don't think you really understand. You all have kept me alive. Seriously. That's not a joke. That's not a joke. All right, folks, I'm out of here. I got Shaman, the Capital Shaman coming on next. He has a lot of stuff he wants to vent out. I also have SGN on coming on. Nino's Corner.tv. Get over there right now. Help me help you, folks. We're going to talk about, I don't know, he has a lot of stuff to say about Trump, the Epstein list, the whole thing, I guess. He's going to come out and say something he's never said before is what he told me, and that'll be on Nino's Corner.tv. All right, folks. And the new heavyweight champion of podcasting and the black sheep of broadcasting, baby. Later.